Welcome to She Built It. I'm your host, Melanie Barr. Today, Andrea Faulkner-Williams joins us. Andrea is the co-founder and head mama behind Tubby Todd Bath Co., a family-run brand built through trust, community, and authentic storytelling. Tubby Todd is redefining baby skincare, driving 95% of the growth in the baby lotion category on Amazon. Andrea joins us to share what it takes to disrupt a category, build real trust, and grow a loved brand without celebrity investors or massive ad budgets. Thank you for joining us, Andrea.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Melanie.
In a crowded category, what do you believe most founders misunderstand about building a brand that customers trust?
Yeah, I think that the important thing to do when you're launching any brand is to believe that the product has really solved a problem. So can you honestly say that the product has solved a problem either for you or the customer that you're trying to approach? And for us, that is how Tubby Todd was born. My husband and I had a little one with sensitive skin, and we had been using natural products, but all of them seemed to either not smell great, not lather, and it would take like half of a bottle to feel like you were actually getting any substance of, a lather or coverage on your little one. And that was expensive. We were young parents and money was tight. And so as we were using these natural products, we felt like it was actually irritating their skin because it was drying it out more. A lot of 30+% of the little ones suffer from eczema. And that's what our little one was suffering from, which in a lot of ways is just a lack of hydration and not having the right ingredients. So we worked with formulators that had previously worked with strategic companies. And we told them, you can put whatever the best ingredients are. It doesn't matter how much the end product will cost. We just want to build the best baby formula. And it turns out that these formulators had never heard that before from companies because companies had assumed that parents would only pay so much for baby skincare products. So they were really kind of diluting what they would put in the product in order to hit a certain shelf price. So we went in just looking for the best product for our family. When we found it, it solved a problem. It was actually our hair and body wash was the thing that changed our son's skin. And so we were honestly able to sell that product. So that's what it takes to disrupt a category, is to find a solution for something that your customers really need, right?
Yeah, and that's interesting because the best businesses are built on that, a need.
Yes.
And filling that need. And you make me think I have a 12-year-old daughter who has struggled with eczema too. And it's mostly when she's, in chlorine in the pool in the summer. But it's, you as a parent in the beginning when it first happens, because I have twins and my son didn't have it, you don't really know what to do or what to change or how to help them improve.
Yeah, completely. And the industry that we're in, as far as like, there's quick turn manufacturing. It's easier to manufacture a product than it ever has been in the history of the world. And I think that's cool. I think that's super exciting. I love that so many people can go through the process of product development. I love social media and podcasts and what that's done for people to be able to share their voice and be creative. The only caveat to that is that we all have to make sure that we're creating something we really believe in. And it took us 2 years to develop our first product, right? We went through multiple formulators, multiple different iterations before we came out with something that we were really proud of and ready to share. It was not perfect. The packaging was not perfect. The design was not perfect. We had terrible photography and Instagram. Our website would be built ourselves, but the product itself was something we could really trust and give to people.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point because you can develop products really quickly, but it seems like you went through the right steps to make sure it was something that was really going to help people and formulated the way you wanted it to be.
Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with the fact that I knew I was going to be the one who was like talking to people and giving it to my friends and my family members. And so I wasn't confident to say I was going to sell this unless I knew we had a need and I wanted to fill that. And I wasn't confident to launch something until I knew that need was filled, right? And so that is a really great test for people who are looking to launch any sort of service. Is this going to solve a need for your community?
What were the smartest early business decisions that you made that helped position Tubby Todd for long-term growth?
Okay, so we were self-funded. So my husband kept his day job for 3 years and I was just doing it while managing 2 kids at home. And I also was working part-time. So for us, I would say the smartest thing we did was do no paid ads. And people might disagree with that, but I'm going to say for us why that was so meaningful is it because forced us to get really creative with our marketing budget. And opposed to just dumping money into ads and relying on the algorithm to like boost us, we reached people through influencer gifting, through events from very, very early days of Tubby Todd. We had gatherings at parks, our play dates, at a local art gallery that my cousin owned. Like, we were getting people together in my house and my like tiny townhome. Like, it was all about the community spreading the word of Tubby Todd because we weren't relying on paid ads to do that. So I would say not using paid ads was, anyone who's self-funded who comes to me, that's the first piece of advice I give them is don't rely on paid ads for your marketing. Think of other, we call them growth hacking, other ways to get the word out there, right? And a lot of that had to do with me getting on there and creating content. Contests like post a picture of your baby with bubbles on them, a bubble beard at Christmas time to look like Santa, like just annual things we did, monthly things, like daily coming up with ways to engage with our community. So that would be my first advice.
I love that you're self-funded, and also with the way media is going today with owned media and also community, you've been building this over time, and it seems like you're perfectly positioned for where media has gone today.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to say that I foresaw that. I just didn't have any money. So that's mainly what happened. Also, naturally,
it's worked out well.
Yeah. Naturally, like I like to gather, I like to be with people. One thing that is great about the baby space is that moms specifically are looking to connect with other moms. I would say that there has never been a time in the history of the world when all consumers are looking more to connect with other groups of people, like-minded people. I love like these running clubs, like popping up for 18 to 20, 30-year-olds, right? Like I even just read a Wall Street Journal article about people going to Catholic church to meet other people. Like they're seeing a resurgence in church attendance so young people can meet each other. I'm like, people are just looking to be with other people. And I think in the last 10 years, the thing we've seen the most, the thing that has been the most surprising about Tubby Todd, other than the success of the products and how well they actually work and the 50,000 plus 5-star reviews, is how much other moms want to be with moms and just hear, you've got this. Like, you are doing a great job. Your little one is lucky to have you. You don't have it all figured out, but that's not what your baby needs. They just need you to be a happy, confident mom, and you've got this. Like, that is what every mom wants to hear, no matter how old their kid is. And you can't do that if you're not together. Like you're not connecting. You can't build one another up. So that has been such a huge surprise to us, how important the community has been, and also like the best part of it, because it's built me and it's allowed me to meet millions digitally and in person, tens of thousands of really, really incredible families.
So true. And I'm smiling because I'm thinking back to the days of I was a twin mom.
Oh
And
my gosh,
I barely
I literally
left.
can't even with multiple moms. Like I have a friend with triplets, and every time I talk to her, the triplets are like 13. I'm like, I can't even hear the stories about like the delivery and like everything. It's so much.
I tell twin parents or parents of multiples, if you don't go anywhere till they're 4, you're completely normal, because you go to a restaurant and you can't hold while one eats. Like it's just,
Totally.
But I'm smiling because I'm thinking about, I barely left the nursery. And I remember thinking if I don't have an intellectual conversation, I might lose my mind. And that's what prompted me to start She Built It, because
Cool.
I wanted that sense of community. And because you're right, to your point, moms want to be with other moms because you feel so isolated in those early years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think in some ways we were raising kids in the most difficult generation of parenting. The expectations have never been higher. The challenges for our kids have never been complex, the mental health battles, addiction. But at the same time, moms have never had more resources and more access to one another. And so that's what I choose to focus on. Like, how incredible that you've been able to create this incredible podcast, something that's built you and other people along the way, all while raising your kids, right? Like, that's such a gift, right? So it is a very good time to be a parent.
Yeah. And I was just telling someone else this. I launched this podcast at the very start of COVID. So I had to hire someone to be with my kids for 4 hours so I could record, because they were 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So, you had those kids running around. I know a lot of people were in that position. And I just thought I want to keep showing up for women and business owners and leaders so that they continue doing the things that they love and growing the companies that they want to grow.
Yeah.
Tubby Todd has built deep loyalty in a highly competitive space. What have you done intentionally to turn trust into repeat business and long-term growth?
Yeah, I think that marketing has everything to do with being a good friend. So you think about, they say you're a product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So the people you spend the most time with, you start to talk like them, dress like them, act like them, you have shared values. Like if you don't spend time with your consumers, like you can't know what they like and you're not a good friend. So thinking about how you can spend time with your consumers is how you create repeat customers. Like being in their social media accounts, right? So how can you show up? But also like you never love the friend that every time you call them, they just talk about themselves and it's not about you, it's about them, right? And so it's like doing things for them that are fun. Like, is it celebrating their birthdays, celebrating their baby showers? Like we just launched something that we've wanted to do for years that we're so excited. It's a brand trip, a giveaway we're doing for 5 families called Camp Tubby Todd in July. We're bringing 5 families to San Diego and we have the entire trip planned for them. Like, you know how hard it is financially for young families and just logistically to travel with babies. It's a nightmare, right? And so we have all the gear, the hotels, the minivans, the food, the activities. They're going to come to Tubby Todd for a shopping spree in our Tub Hub, our headquarters. And we're just taking care of that because that's what being a good friend is, right? Like thinking about the pain points, spending time with them. So that is how we've been able to stay in touch with our community, and where we've seen repeat purchasers is through that. I always tell everyone in their interview at Tubby Todd, like, do not create, say, or do anything that you wouldn't send, create, or make for your best friend. So if you are creating a label, you're one of our designers, if you don't think that's really cool, and you're not excited about it, then I don't want it on our bottles, because you should be really excited about gifting this to your best friend. If you're in our operations and you're planning like our packaging and delivery services, if you yourself wouldn't want to receive it that way, then like, let's not send the package that way, right? And so we're not perfect at that. We are definitely still growing. I've had growing pains. I'm sure some of our users are listening and thinking, oh my gosh, you haven't done this perfectly. And we have a lot of ways to continue to get better. And it's been fun because I've really seen our community like cheer us on as we've tried to improve in our
No
friendship to them.
business.
But
No
they keep
business
coming
is
back.
perfect.
Yeah, no, they keep coming back and they keep showing up for us because we're trying to do that for them. I feel like they can really feel it. And that's what I think is the key as a business owner.
Yeah, and when your consumers can grow alongside you.
Yes, I love that. Like even like with a podcast or the creators, I love like influencers that I follow who are like making videos in their bathroom and it's low quality, but you can tell they're so excited about what they're talking about. I love that. And then all of a sudden, like they have a team or they're doing big brand deals and I'm just cheering for them, right? Like I love every stage of growth for the people that I believe in. And so I truly believe our community has done that for us as well.
Yeah, and we want to see that authenticity too.
Yes, totally.
As your business grew, what leadership skills did you have to develop to keep growing as well?
I am a sharer. I love to connect. I'll tell you my whole life story. I did have to start to set some boundaries with me and like team members. People need to have a work life and an at-home life. And it's not been like a huge difficulty for me, but like I will say for small business leaders, I've been lucky to learn from a lot of other people I've worked with. My husband, my dad was on our board for 5 years. We've had some more seasoned C-level people who've been at Tubby Todd who have taught me a lot about what work-life boundaries mean. And that means like you don't need to bring your home life at work, right? And you don't need to bring your work life at home. So setting those boundaries with your team members, like being professional in meetings, right? I'm not great at this. I'm probably the least professional person. And so that's why I'm saying I had to learn these boundaries. I mean, I have breastfed in board meetings. I have done all of the things that are true to who I am, but I'm talking about relationship boundaries with employees, right? That is something I've learned. I would say something I'm really good at is hiring people. I love finding team members. It is my favorite thing to find the perfect person in the perfect time of their life for the role that just like they can shine in. I think part of progressing in my career has been leaning into that and not being embarrassed of the things that I think I'm uniquely good at. Like I still have a hand in hiring our customer service people at Tubby Todd. We call them our Todd Squad. And it's not because our managers can't do it, but one, I love it. And I think I'm really good at it. I think it's something I offer the organization. And so being like confident enough to be like, I really want to still be a part of that, right? So I would say confidence in what I'm good at, and then also in setting boundaries in my work and professional life, which I'm still working on
And if
every
building the
day.
teams is what brings you joy, you should be able to do that part within
I
your business.
Yeah, I will truly say I have loved building Tubby Todd. And this is why I have loved seeing, I mean, we've had multiple team members. We have sold our first product 12 years ago. We've had multiple team members who have been there. Around 10 of us have been there 5+ years, if not more. And there's only 30 something of us on the team. And we sell a lot of soap with this small team. And it has been so fun to see these team members come from customer service and progress to a management position, or from a marketing specialist or chief brand officer, right? She's like come up at Tubby Todd and has become this incredible powerhouse. And it has been awesome to grow together. So it's been really fun.
And that speaks to your sustainable company culture and what you've built as a team, and your authenticity carries over into your business. Because while you said you needed to
Really forgiving people who forgive my husband and I for being so crazy. I think that's what we're good at finding. And they're really nice and they've stayed around. But yes, we have a great team culture. Yes.
and they probably look at you and know that you have a family, you have 4 kids, you've got a
Yeah.
lot you're managing in addition to the business, and that's not easy to do.
Yeah. And
So
I
good
will
for
say
you
this.
for what you've built.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like my dad, when he sat on our board for 5 years, one of the things that he was the most intense about was setting quarterly goals as a management team. Well, starting as a company and setting goals, very clear goals that we were going to go after, and few, 3 to 5, that were going to be like, 10 million website visitors. That's one of our goals in 2026. But we only have 4 or 5 large goals like that we present to our team annually and say, hey, this is our North Star as a company. And here are the things that we're going to break down every quarter, 3 to 5 things we're going to do every quarter, big initiatives that will lead to that, right? So an example is, it's not like daily, like posting on social media, but we're adding a new chapter of products on Amazon this quarter. And that takes a lot of work from both sides of the organization. So that's one of the quarterly goals. So one of the ways you can keep people happy at work, and especially in a small business, is being really clear with your goals and just focused on them. Because it's really annoying when your boss or your organization is flip-flopping what you think. And that's when it starts to bleed into not being able to spend time with your family, right? Is because you're wasting time on projects that aren't moving you guys forward, right?
And it's great that he put those few big goals and made them very clear, because
Yes.
then you're not diluted as to, okay, what am I supposed to be trying to achieve?
Yeah. And like, then you can just all be moving in the same direction. And it changes the way that you're going to communicate with the customers, even from customer service up to our marketing content people to our people who are doing our inventory and what they're ordering, right? Everyone is like heading in the same direction.
How do you decide where to spend your time as a founder so that you're working on the business and not just in it?
So I think the first thing for me as a founder of 4 kids and being 12 years into this, most founders do not stay around this long. We sold a majority of the business 4 years ago to a private equity group. And a lot of people leave after selling to a private equity group. We have loved our experience of working with our private equity group. They have been lovely and wonderful. And I love our team, and we're still growing so quickly. My husband and I have both stayed, as he's the CEO and I'm the president. So it has been a marathon, not a sprint for us. I mean, I know Grund was just acquired after 2 years, and my growth officer and I were talking about that. And I was like, it's just a completely different experience than what we've had. It's been slow, steady, healthy growth. Not that theirs wasn't healthy, but it's been a slower process as we've built together. For me, the first thing that I do with my time is I make sure that I'm okay. Like I'm so adamant about rest, sleep, even when I had little babies. I would use some of my babysitting time, my nanny, for me to take a nap. I'm adamant about working out. And whether it's like going to the chiropractor or physical therapy or the things I need to do to heal my body, especially after having all those kids and things are just like obliterated, twins specifically, I can't even imagine. I know I could have never survived that. I'm really, really adamant about my spiritual health as well and my mental health. Like, so what? Meditation, scripture reading, what does that mean for like spending time with friends and the people I love? Really, really adamant about my marriage. That is something that's really important to me. What does that look like for date night and for spending time together? And then from there comes my kids, right? So it's like taking care of me, taking care of my relationships, and then work comes. And so that's how I prioritize my life as a founder. As far as working in the business, I think that it is really hard when you start to bring people in who are doing a lot of the jobs that you used to do to not be like, I could do that better, right? Like I used to go to every photo shoot and I'd be directing it. I'm not even good at photo shoots. Like I'm terrible at them, but I just can't go to them anymore. Because if I go there, I will immediately start bossing everyone around. Same thing with events. I used to host every event. I'm, again, not good at hosting events. I'm not good at it. But if I go to an event when we're setting up, I will literally start bossing everyone around. So I show up 10 to 15 minutes after the event is already going now, because then I know I can go and I can just be there and like be a support and not be a drain, right? So really making sure that you are like staying in your lane, and it changes every year for me. And so that has been, again, I have very forgiving team members. Sorry for bossing you around when I wasn't even doing a good job. And you kind of got to reevaluate, like, what are those priorities and how can you commit to them to help move the business forward? And it's going to keep changing, especially as a founder.
And it's smart that you've learned that about yourself as a founder, to show up after the event.
Yeah, because I am really bossy. That's what makes me a good founder, but also really annoying, if I'm not in charge of it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And you mentioned the speed of your growth. I mean, if you're in a business that makes you happy and you're loving doing it, there shouldn't be a comparison. It should be what's most meaningful to you.
Yeah. Profitable growth has been really, really important to us. So we've been profitable almost on every order since our first order. Like we've always had a goal of somewhere around 30% EBITDA. And I say that out loud, not to brag, but to say that like other people can do it too. And you hear about all of these VC funded startups that grow so quickly, and they have like, they're not bringing anything to the bottom line, but no personal family is accountable for that, right? It's an organization that's supporting that, or multiple organizations that have funded that. But like, we were funding this out of our own bank account. So we were having to feed our family and pay our rent at the same time. So that has kept us very worried about the bottom line. And still, as we've partnered with private equity, they feel the same way. And I love that, because I can confidently say to my team members, like, you will get your bonus because there is money in the bank if we are growing, right? It's what's worked for us. There's no wrong way to do it. Again, it has been slower than maybe some, but it's been great. It's been a great experience for us.
And it's nice to hear that you've had a positive private equity experience too.
We were very careful about the relationship that we chose there. So not just choosing someone because they're going to give you money, but like choosing them because first off, they're really good people. The partners that we were working with, every single one of them were people that like we would want to go to dinner with, right? Which is essentially what you're going to do. You're going to spend a lot of time together. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, really believing that they believed in us. Like they were really excited about us, that they needed to like stroke our ego, but like they were confident in what we had built and then what we could continue to build, which feels good in a partnership, right?
Yeah, you have to have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What brings you the most joy in what you've built?
I would say, like I said earlier, about moms feeling like I have got this. Like it makes me emotional just because, sorry, I like don't want to stop. I'm okay crying, but I'm trying not to like stop. Okay.
It's great that you care. It's great that you care.
Yes.
Also, and moms can feel like no one cares.
Yeah. I'm totally fine crying on things. I am like a very quick crier, and I'm like, I do have to like rein it in or else it will get like out of control real fast.
Maybe you should have been an actor.
I know, right? But I will say the thing that brings me the most joy is when moms say like, I heard you talking on a live and you said that I've got this as a mom, and it made me feel like I could do today as a parent. And I love our products. Again, they have solved problems for millions of people. If you have not looked at our reviews on tubbytodd.com, please go on and look at them. It truly is incredible, not just for babies, not just for kids or teenagers, but for all ages, what our products have done. And I am so proud of that. But I am most proud of families feeling confidence that they can take care of their little ones because of something we did or said for them. Because that is the most important thing, is parents feeling confident so that they can show up better for their kids, because the kids are the ones who will be taking care of us. It is what the world will be in the future, and we need them, and we need to build confidence in them.
So true. And every parent listening remembers those moments. So it's so great that you have built a business that supports moms and people in those spaces and a community too.
I will say also that I have a 15-year-old and I have no idea what I'm doing raising a teenage girl. She is the easiest teenage girl there is, but I still need other families and specifically moms to look at me and be like, you've got this. You know exactly what you're doing. She's going to be okay. Like, you made a mistake. That's great. You know, when I do make a mistake, for my friends to be like, isn't it awesome? She can see you're not perfect, right? I don't think that feeling of like, am I doing this right, ever goes away. But I think that really shows that we care. And it also shows that we continually need people like cheering. We all need to cheer each other on.
Yeah. You have built an incredible business. Thank you for joining us today and telling us all
I
about
had so
Tubby
much
Todd.
fun. Thank you, Melanie, and congratulations to you on what you've built. I love that story of you building during COVID. Your kids will always remember you doing that. I think that's such a great example. That's so cool.